Hi, I'm Dan Smith, and I play Jim.
I'm Hillary Smith, and I play Eileen.
I'm Stephen Anthony, and I play George.
Tell me a little bit about your characters in the show and how they work into the show. We'll go left to right again.
I play Jim, and he's kind of he's a little shy, and oh gosh, I don't know. I guess we all like.
Well, we all do so much.
Yeah,
it's a review,
and it goes through the decades. So we're playing the same character, but going from like 1910 to 1950. So our whole kind of perspective changes throughout the course of the play.
It's sort of like each time we come in, we're doing a different song that has a different setup. So it's not always like you're seeing the journey of George from start to finish.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's kind of we all end up doing similar stuff through the show. Like I would say, my character always tries to be very suave and very charming, and then fails sometimes and comes off as sort of very egotistical sometimes in a comical way, like for laughs.
So they're more character traits than really character.
More traits.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of like you get to know us.
Mm-hmm.
In many different ways, as opposed to seeing our character go on an journey.
Yeah,
which is fun.
We play, in one era, we play like hobos, and then we're like in the army. So it's complete like 360.
Kira, another girl in the cast, Kira Lace Hawkins, comes in for one scene and she's suddenly Russian.
Yeah. It's hard to like say that we have character names, but it changes depending on what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's not like this one character kind of develops. As long as you carry the same trait, it's...
Yeah, it's more about like each decade and...
Telling the story of the time period.
Yeah, it's a review, so it's going through the time periods and like expressing the music of that time.
And showing how Irving Berlin's music changed
reflected
through each time period.
Each time period. During the Depression, he wrote all this stuff. I mean, he wrote, little known fact, he wrote Blue Skies during the Depression, which is saying Blue Skies is all about, even if it's storming or even if times are really hard, I'll be happy because I've got my girl, I've got my love, you know what I mean? So he really had to respond to each of the different things that happened. I think the show does a really good job of showing that.
So whatever the characters are going through relates to the Irving Berlin song?
The Irving Berlin song and the time period that the song was written in.
Okay. So which, I guess, favorite time period and song are each of yours? Do you have a favorite, or is it's Irving Berlin, so it's...
Do you guys?
Oh, that's hard. I don't know. Weirdly enough, I like singing I've Got My Love to Keep Me Warm in the Depression sequence.
Yeah.
That's a really great part. And I actually love the end of Act 1, the whole army sequence, going from when the boys find out that they've been enlisted into the army, and I think that part is a really cool way to end Act 1. I like all those songs too.
And it's really kind of moving. I mean,
it's very
we forget
touching.
because we're so young, but we forget that it really is a time capsule of things that actually happened, that people actually went through very serious times during the war.
People in the audience will relate to a lot.
Yeah, because I think the show starts out just so fun. I mean, we've got this like 10-minute dance sequence when we do the 20s that we're in like a speakeasy, and like hiding our liquor, and it's just fun, dance, and then suddenly the war hits, and Hillary's got this beautiful moment where her love is away, he's overseas, and it suddenly gets just really, really beautiful, and she just has this really touching moment that just comes out of nowhere from all the comedy and all the fun. It's really great. But going back to the question, I would say my favorite time is the 40s, because it's all the like golden age of the movies. So things like Stepping Out with My Baby and Putting on the Ritz.
Yeah.
And I'm in Heaven.
Yeah, I would...
Sort of a glamorous kind of...
The glamorous, long tail. Coattails and top hats.
Oh, man. I'm like trying to think. I don't know. I really like the 20s, I think, even though it's like that's like a really intense part of the show with all the dancing, but I think I just love that style. And so I'd say the 20s, and I do like the 40s, like that style too, a lot. I like Stepping Out and stuff like that. All that music is a lot of fun. From
being like hokey and like silly dancing,
and then it's like
and then all of a sudden it's just we're all rich. It's fun.
Well, I read somewhere where they call Irving Berlin American music. He wasn't part of American music. He was American music. Why do you think he's such an important part of American music?
I think the show will really help tell that story. Just like we said, the show starts out in 1910 when he first started writing music in Tin Pan Alley, and his songs were starting to be
very simple
played,
songs and
first started writing, and it goes all the way to the 50s where he wrote musicals such as Annie Get Your Gun. You travel through the history of America with his music, and I think that's the message of the show, partly.
Like, every composer sort of has a heyday, but Irving Berlin...
You realize how much of his music is just a part...
And he's not actually from America, which is even crazier.
Yeah.
He's from Russia, I think, right?
Yeah, and
So, it's crazy that he became, like, American
the show,
music.
yeah, like Hillary said, the show shows that he responded to everything that happened throughout every decade. He wasn't just like, oh, well, I can't write songs about this, so I'll take a break. His songs really do tell the story of
I think
American
that's why
history.
it stuck with people, because it was stuff that he was writing about, stuff that affected everyone's lives at that time. So I think they took everything that he wrote to heart.
And he's always, no matter what he's writing about, he's always got this back edge of just lighthearted comedy. He always has an optimistic spin on things.
Tongue in cheek, kind of.
Tongue in cheek. He's always very funny. His music is very funny. Looking back at it, very funny lyrics, especially for the time. He's very clever. He was kind of crass sometimes. I mean, some of the things that he wrote are probably would have been considered vulgar for the time, but that are so innocent, that are so playful. He's always optimistic and playful with it. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, well, like you said, I mean, he died in 89, and I'm not even sure some of you were born or you're very young. So, was it through theater that you guys learned of Irving Berlin, or how did you guys each become aware of Irving Berlin and his music, or was it a show, or what was your first introduction, I guess?
Honestly, you probably would be surprised in the amount of songs you would know, not realizing Irving Berlin wrote it, such as God Bless America or White Christmas. Those are songs that we've all been introduced to at a young age that you just wouldn't realize that Irving Berlin wrote. So in that sense, we've all been introduced to Irving Berlin
without
knowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's a big part of theater, so of course, that is when I learned about him.
I studied him in high school, so that was the first thing I heard of him. But even still, I didn't know some of the songs that are in the show. I didn't realize that he had written. That I was like, oh, I know that song.
You'd be surprised how many you hear and you're like, oh yeah, this song, of course. Mm-hmm. Also, all three of us, interestingly enough, are from Florida State. Go Noles. And part of our program we do every semester, we honor a composer, and we have a whole day where we just sing all their music. And I think our sophomore year was so the year before you got there,
Irving
we
Berlin
had a whole day of Irving Berlin music, and everybody in the program got up and sang. So we got 30 Irving Berlin songs, a little Irving Berlin concert, and we all loved it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun doing the show now and hearing the songs that some of our classmates
oh yeah,
say.
so-and-so saying that, so-and-so saying that. Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, great. Well, the show's called I Love a Piano, and my understanding is there's a piano that kind of travels in the show. Explain the piano part, I guess, of the show.
The piano is kind of the lead of the show in the sense that...
Piano gets the last bow.
Yeah, the piano gets the last bow. The piano is the through line, is the symbol of Irving Berlin, basically. It's the through line of his music going through the decades, and is being placed in all these different settings, and you see how the piano gets to the speakeasy or the junkyard. The plot kind of helps that along, and Scott did a really good job of adding some other things so that the piano really did have a through line throughout the show.
All get. When the war section comes up, someone comes out and slaps the sign over the piano that says "drafted." Like the piano's going to the army too. Things like that are cute. And at one point, David Schlumpf comes on stage and he buys the piano from him, and he says, "Hey, thank you, Mr. What's your name?" And David says, "Mr. Astaire."
So Fred Astaire
Fred Astaire just got the piano. Things like that sort of help take you into the next era.
Okay. So it's a vehicle to get the show going. Okay.
Yeah, we all play it at some point or another.
Yeah.
So you all can play the piano?
Some of us are thinking it. Yeah. No, yeah, we're all absolutely playing it.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else about this particular show you want people to know about? Because I was trying to read online, and there wasn't a whole lot of information other than Irving Berlin review. So what else can you tell people about this show to look forward to or to check out? Or
I mean, people just know, they're going to realize that they know all these, like most of these songs that they've heard, and they're not going to realize that they're from him. I think it's just going to be just a fun night. Just to come
laughing, crying,
It's just a feel good show. There's something for everybody. We had our run through yesterday before the cast of Blithe Spirit left for the summer, sadly, and nobody else watched the show, but Annie Yoakum, who's our age, younger than us, and Ann Whitney came and watched the show from Blithe Spirit, and I think that really speaks for itself, in that both of them after were like, oh, so they both related to different things. Annie was just like, had so much fun watching all the dancing, and Ann Whitney told us that she cried during the war, during the USO stuff, because it took her, and it really moved her, and it sort of reminded us, like, this is something that a lot of people will relate to. But then even the younger people who weren't there, who are our age, love the dancing and love the fun songs and the
energy and
the jokes and there's something for everybody. It's just so fun. It's just pure fun from start to finish.
A fun family show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of mentioned it. I mean, this is the last show of the season already. I mean, so kind of sum up this season for you guys.
It's been a lot of work. It's hard going from 9 a.m. to 4 and then doing a show at night. It's hard, but we've been really lucky. This cast has been some of the most fun people that I've ever gotten to work with. I feel like I keep saying I haven't had this much fun since like summer camp in middle school, because it's been a blast with everybody.
I definitely think all of our hard work has paid off, and it's been a really good season. A lot of, just a great contrast of shows and a lot of fun parts. And to say I've done 6 shows in one summer is pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of hard work. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Do you have a highlight? I mean, I hate to put one show above all the others, but is there a particular show you guys liked, or character?
Well, character, probably in Peter Pan, Smee was a lot of fun. Just because it was just kind of wild and free. But I think for show, I really like Chicago.
Oh, Chicago was
so
fun to do.
Was so much fun to. I mean, I wasn't like in a lot of the dance stuff, so I got to watch it all, and I would watch it almost every night.
Yeah, Chicago was definitely my favorite. Playing Velma was definitely the highlight of my summer. It was great.
You both did well in Chicago, by the way. So
Thank you.
Well, I want to know what all of you are doing after here, but start with Steven, because I know you've got a big thing coming up.
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
I'm so lucky to be going on the national tour of Catch Me If You Can, which is based on the real life of Frank Abagnale Jr. So, I mean, I get to go to some really, really amazing cities for a year and sing really amazing music. It's by the guys who wrote Hairspray, if you remember we did last year. Yeah, so really fun music. And
you're playing the role of that Leonardo did in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Con Man.
The Con Man.
Which is incredible, like a story that I already love so much, and can't wait. I'm so excited. But I'll have like 2 weeks off when I finish here, and then we start rehearsals in New York City. And then we take off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you know where some of the places you're going to, or any place nearby, or?
I mean, we go to some really amazing cities. I get to spend, I think, 2 weeks in Los Angeles, 2 weeks in Chicago, so that's nearby. We're also coming to Wabash, to the Honeywell Center.
Okay.
And then what else? I get to spend a week in Vegas, 2 weeks in West Palm Beach, which all my family's from Miami, Florida, so they'll be coming up. I mean, it's going to be a dream. It's going to be so nice. I can't wait.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. And how about you two? What are you doing after the...
I'm moving to New York in September, so I'm excited about that. And I'm from Indianapolis, so in October and November I'm coming back to do a show at Beef and Boards, so I'll be close by, and then I'll move back to New York and audition and hopefully get many jobs.
Right.
100. And I'm going back to school in Florida, so I still have 2 years left.
Florida for the winter.
Can't complain.
Going back to Florida State, so.
Cool. Well, thank you all very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.